Alright, we're going to go over how to install your AAF thermostat kit and modify your stock thermostat to take this aftermarket kit. We're going to start by inspecting the O-ring seal that's on your existing thermostat. This needs to be supple and soft and still protrude from the plastic. If this seal has any damage on it at all, you need to stop and either get our whole kit or get yourself a new thermostat to modify. The AAF kit is going to include the aluminum plate, the hardware, and the thermostat. Safety first. We're going to start by removal of this factory thermostat. You can be a bit brutal because we don't need any of this. That all pulls out. That's great. We're left with the stud in the middle. That stud is not needed anymore. Some of these will walk out pretty easy and some of them won't. If they don't want to walk out easy like this one doesn't, then we'll just cut it off. Again, it's pretty brutal. We also need to cut these tabs off. What we're looking for is to end up like this, so that thermostat has clearance in here and can sit down just a little bit. That's what it's all about. This kit's going to go together like this. We need to make sure that this part of the thermostat has clearance inside here. Lots of different thermostat housings have lots of different mount styles. This is one of the more stock looking ones that has a beefier structure. We're going to have to cut all of that out to make it work. Now that we can get down in here a little bit better, we're going to do a better job of cutting it nice and flush at the bottom. We want to go slow and not try to take too much too fast. Once you get through enough of it, you can break off the pieces that are left. We're going to take the other side down to be closer to that. Okay, now we're going to test fit our thermostat. We still need to take more out of the center, but our edges are looking pretty good. Check our fitment again. So now we can feel that thermostat's much closer to going down, but we're still hitting in the center. You want to make sure that you get enough of this center lug off that it'll clear. I typically just drill some holes around it. If the center will pop out nice and easy, then you can just drill right down through the center and makes it easy to go. We'll be cleaning some of this out of the pick. We're going to end up filling this center hole full of JB Weld. This is an old thermostat. You can tell by all the corrosion that's happening down at the bottom of this. We tried to pick the worst case scenario we could to do the video on so that you can see how bad it gets. You really got to get this cleaned out. First we want to make sure we got our level right, and then we're going to make sure that we've got that center cleaned out nice so the JB Weld will hold and we're not going to get an external leak. Okay, so we've got what feels good there. We'll put this in here and it looks like that's going to be a nice fit now. We're not getting any contact down at the bottom to this point here. So now I'm going to do some work on picking on the center and getting it cleaned up and ready to seal off. Alright, brake clean's your friend. Wash this thing out with brake clean, blow it out with air, make it all happy and dry inside. Alright, it's cleaned up and dried up. We're just going to test fit our thermostat one more time to make sure everything's happy. I'm wanting to trim a little bit more off of this edge because it might be touching down there. We want to make sure that we're well away from the thermostat and we're not going to hold anything back. If it holds it back at all, it will leak. All right, we want to make sure we get all the little bits and pieces of plastic out of everywhere before we JB weld in it. if you've got any of this white buildup in there, any of this white stuff, that's going to make the JB Weld not stick. So we really need to make sure we've got it completely cleaned up, picked down clear, and inside here it's nice and clean. It can be jagged, and jagged's actually better because it'll have a nice hold on things. But we want to make sure it's clean and it'll take the JB Weld well. So our friends J and B, these guys have experience. So about an inch long stripe of each kind of your 2-part epoxy. JB Quick works really well in this instance. You can use just about any kind of 2-part epoxy that can handle heat. But JB Weld is what we know and trust. So I'm packing that JB Weld down into the hole. I want to make sure as much of it gets down inside as I can get. I'm going to cover this whole top with it. I want to make sure you're not pushing air bubbles into it. You want to be careful on how you're packing, but don't not pack it. We definitely want to get it down in there good. One way you can make sure is once you've got it packed down mostly, just get your finger in there. Push it down good and solid. Okay, that's the trick. That's all there is to it. Now you can install your thermostat kit in there, put it on your engine with your new hardware, and you'll be good to go. You can run cooler and have more power. Always good stuff. Go to advancedautofab.com, check this out and all our other cool products. Thanks for watching.